Saturn is a system and sustainable approach to virtuous interaction in regional, strategic, urban and rural landscapes. It's a project funded by EIT Climate Tech, which is a European Innovation and Technology Centre, and with the aim to work towards a zero carbon community. The importance of the collaboration between Birmingham, Trento and Gothenburg is that these different cities and countries have the opportunity to learn from each other, exchange knowledge and information based on zero carbon and environmental challenges, and also create a big network of stakeholder engagement and systems that will hopefully scale up and affect a different approach into a zero carbon community.
It is the first conference of a major European project called Saturn, which is funded by Climate Kick EIT. The aim of the project, as far as we're concerned, is to, and as far as Climate Kick are concerned, is to look at how a vision, a strategic vision, can inform a number of individual projects. It's really important to say that there's a real excitement and sharing of knowledge and interests in this proposal amongst all the partners. It's working in ways that we hadn't thought that we would expect. It's brought a real richness and diversity to the project, and we're really looking forward to seeing what the results are as years go on this project.
The experience of landscape is the best way. So that means going out in the landscape, walking, bicycling, being there with different weather conditions during the year, and starting to read the landscape by moving through the landscape, etc. And in our case of creating a regional park, the very important thing was to connect the single pieces of landscapes, the single pieces of earth, to be a regional park system, to be a regional infrastructure.
If you build up your vision, have a vision for this place that is a thriving, multifunctional national park, which is going to be supporting numerous businesses, we can see that this park aspiration will drive the local economy. It is actually all about clean air, clean water, restored soils, and a countryside and a townscape that is heaving with wildlife, because we are part of wildlife. So there's a really important point here that the National Park can do, is to reconnect people with food growing.
I believe the Saturn project is a great example for local climate action. It is fantastic to see 3 cities coming together, trying to share knowledge and implement urban and rural linkages strategies on a local level. And I think that's one of the biggest assets of the project.
For me, the thinking has moved on from something which was an aspirational vision to starting now to think about what the steps might be to take it forward. So I think there was some real concrete advice coming from Germany and coming from Sweden in particular that resonated with me, where there were practical things that we could learn from and we could follow.
So Saturn, in terms of Birmingham and the West Midlands region, it sits under the West Midlands National Park proposal. We see it as a case study where we look at the peri-urban and strategic interaction. We look at the governance, stakeholder engagement, a strategic vision in the West Midlands, and the way this will affect and impact the different communities within Birmingham and the West Midlands Combined Authority.
I'm Alessandro Bretter. I am the lead of the project Saturn. I work at Fondazione Dunmark, based here in Trentino in Italy. Now with this project we can have the opportunity to create new networks, a new partnership, getting together also other stakeholders, like could be the citizens, the NGOs, and focus ourselves on a different way in which we can tackle and contrast climate change according a systemic approach. Trentino is located in the Alps, so actually it's a more mountainous and rural communities, and the overall dimension is pretty small because the whole province and region is 500,000 inhabitants. But it gives for us the first opportunity to think the way in which we are governing the landscape and in how we can, for example, do a better way of knowing and governing the landscape. We can contrast the climate change from one side, and the other side create and expand the awareness how to, for example, create a new identity for our citizens and our identity for our local resources.
City of Gothenburg is supporting local growers with basic infrastructure, with training, with other support, so that they can start a business in an easier way. Often there are small-scale businesses, sometimes one to a few people, and it can be difficult to get into the market if you're on your own.
The project also established a model farm where people can come and look and learn how a good business model of peri-urban, urban agriculture could look like.